Well, good morning.
Top of the morning to you laddies. I feel like that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that actually sounded decent. We're going to get someone else's opinion on that. So this morning we checked out of our Airbnb that we were staying at just outside of Ballyshannon. And today we have a super easygoing day. We are going to be driving the Wild Atlantic Way for several hundred miles, and basically whenever we see something pretty, we're going to pull over and look. This is like one of our only schedule-free days, which we're looking forward to. So where are we? What are we doing? Where are we seeing? What you got?
So this is our first stop on the Wild Atlantic Way. This is, I apologize for the pronunciation, Mullaghmore Head. And it's just a very pretty scenic cliff. I believe there's also a castle behind us, or a house that looks very similar to a castle.
Yeah, this is stop number one. We've got a few stops written down and other stuff. We're just gonna say, ooh, that's pretty, and pull over. Slight correction on where we are. I'm also going to mispronounce this one. We are about half a mile away from the Mullaghmore Head. This is actually Knockafogger. People of Ireland, I'm just going to apologize now. We are trying. We listen to pronunciations. I'm sorry.
We have made it to Downpatrick Head. That one I can pronounce.
A lot easier.
So we are making our way. It's just a little walk up to see the cliffs from the parking lot. And we stepped over to record a video, and we found this little grate thing, and we were walking across it to come over here and realized we were walking above a cavern. So that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, these heads are incredible. You get an incredible view of the sea because you're on the sea. But this water is like terrifying. I don't consider myself someone scared of water, but it just it demands respect.
We're gonna go for a swim in it later, see if we survive.
made it to our next stop on our Wild Atlantic Way tour, to Céide Fields. We listened to the Irish pronunciation before we did this, so if I'm wrong, you can blame Google. So this is really neat. This is an agricultural field from the Neolithic period, and it dates back to 6,000 years ago. It is the oldest known agricultural fields in the entire world, and they were kept so pristine thanks to the peat they got on top of it. And then they just started excavating the peat, and someone said, hey, this looks like a Neolithic field, let's put a building up here and charge people money. I'm super excited about this, so we're going to head on in and see what we can see about Céide.
Céide Fields are the most extensive Neolithic site in Ireland and claims to be the oldest field system in the entire world.
2 adult men could build about 50 feet of wall per day, and there are thought to be over 62 miles of stone walls in this area.
Hundreds of years after the walls were built, the entire area became a bog. Several feet of organic plant material was deposited on top, and after thousands of years became what we call peat.
This peat is the reason that everything in the area stayed in such good condition, locking away the centuries-old stone walls safely in the peat.
In order to preserve the site and ensure the continuation of research, a simple method was used to explore the walls underneath. This involved the location and mapping of these hidden walls by probing with long T-shaped iron rods. Once the walls were discovered, a white plastic post was left in place of the iron to create a visual representation of where the walls were located.
We have made it to our final stop for the day before going to our Airbnb in Ennis, not Ennis. We looked up this pronunciation 3 different times on 3 different websites, and it is called Kilmacduagh Abbey, also known as Kilmacduagh Monastery. We have seen both online. This is absolutely breathtaking. So the construction on this incredibly beautiful abbey was started in the 7th century. That's the 600s. Now it took a little bit to build, and it was definitely built on. It did not start to be this incredible view that we see before us, but this might be one of the oldest things we've seen.
I think it is.
Except for the Neolithic fields that we just saw, which are 6,000 years old. But yeah, this is incredible. We're going to wander around. Looks like you can pretty much go almost anywhere. So this is how we're going to close out our day, doing the Wild Atlantic Way. That rhymed.
So after this, we're checking into a new Airbnb, and then tomorrow we are going to the very, very famous, maybe you've heard of them, Cliffs of Moher?
I say Moher.
Moher. I have looked up the pronunciation 10 times, and every time it is something different, so I do not know what to call it, but last time I looked it up it said Moher. Do not pronounce the H. So I'm calling it the Cliffs of Moher.
I also say herbs, and you're not supposed to pronounce the H there.
So yeah, we're going to check this out, and then we'll see y'all at the cliffs tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan.
morning.
Top of the morning. I'll never do that again. We have wandered about 45 minutes from our Airbnb outside of Ennis to the beautiful cliffs of Moher.
Or more.
Again, multiple pronunciations. So I'm going to say one, Candace is always going to say the others. That way we piss off as least amount of people as possible. It is a beautiful, rainy, foggy, chilly morning, which is kind of what you would want when you're here. And as you can see, we have the whole place to ourselves. There's not another single person on the planet.
We went into the visitor center, which tells you, basically a small museum that tells you a lot more about the cliffs, and I think we were one of about 1,000 people in a very tiny space. So, to be honest, I didn't read much about the cliffs because I didn't want to stay in there any longer.
I don't do small spaces with lots of people. I don't do lots of people. And we knew this was going to be a busy place. It's literally like the most famous stop in the whole country. So, some quick facts about the cliffs. They stand 510 feet tall, and you can walk about 18 kilometers, which is about 11 miles or so.
There's also a small castle. I don't know how close we can get to it, but I can see it way back there on a cliff. So.
All right, so we're going to fight the crowds and see if we can see a cliff.
So we walked, I don't know, how far?
Half mile?
Half mile, 3/4 of a mile maybe. We stopped at the veggie food truck. Then we turned around because we didn't feel like walking up a giant hill. And then we were going to go see the little castle that's at the top of this hill, but kind of looks like that's where everyone's hanging out. And I've seen better castles, to be quite honest. So we knew that this place was very touristy, obviously. I think the couple of cliffs that we saw and stopped at yesterday along the Wild Atlantic Way were prettier. Not that this isn't gorgeous.
It's pretty, but I think
there's just so many people. You have to like walk like this to get out of people's way, and
we typically don't do giant touristy. This is not a trap. This is beautiful. We don't do the big tourist attractions, and this is kind of why we like to stay on off the beaten path as much as we can. From here, we are heading back into the town of Ennis, which is right outside where our Airbnb is, and I think we're just going to have like an in-town day. We really haven't eaten very much out at restaurants. I think I've gotten one piece of fish since we've been over here, which seems like a war crime, to be honest with you. So I think we're going to head into Ennis. There's a friary I want to check out, not like a deep friary, like where monks used to live. And then we've got a delicious place in mind for dinner.
Yeah, it looks like a very cute Irish pub, so.
Yeah. Well, we made it to the Ennis Friary. It was $5 for an adult. I am blown away. It is roofed, it is covered, it is...
We're outside.
We're outside currently, but the rest of it is completely covered. This is absolutely gorgeous. Don't know a whole lot about it yet. We just got here. We're just learning. I'm sure we'll put some interesting voiceovers in, but this is something that we really wanted to see. Super high on the list, and we were able to park for free right next door.
We wanted to have a church, a school and a burial ground here. And it was the Franciscan order that ran the operation, and all was well up until the 16th century when it was closed under the rule of Henry VIII. After that it became a courthouse, and after that again a church barn under Anglican Church. They were here till 1871, they were the last users of the site. Now, everybody that was here kind of remodeled a little bit to suit their own needs, so different parts of the building, all the windows and doorways date from different eras.
So as soon as we're done with the Friary here, we're actually going to go get some dinner at Brogans, which is a really delicious restaurant that I think we picked out about 6 months ago. Hopefully it's not super crowded. Maybe we can take some videos of us trying some Irish food. I saw they had some mussels. They have bangers and mash. They have a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll get a Guinness finally. I've been here for a couple days now. I still haven't had a Guinness, but yeah, so we're going to bring you guys along to dinner. And then after dinner, we're going to head right back to the Airbnb, do some work. And then in the morning, we're going to be heading to our next stop, which you guys won't see for just a couple of days. So as always, we'll see y'all somewhere. Alright, I'm gonna try my first Guinness. See, it's gonna be all over my mustache, I can already tell. Want a little something on it? Actually, that's really good. I've had one Guinness in the States, and it was awful. To be expected. Yeah, this is good.
It's not bad, actually.
Holy cow. How is this not more famous? Like, I had no idea there was this much of it above and around. I'm gonna look up a fact.
A bit above.
Would you like us to take a picture?
Oh no, we're actually recording a video.
But
thank you, we appreciate that. If we see some if we see some cool stuff in Ennis, we'll bring you guys along. Thanks for watching Riley Roams. Please subscribe to our channel to keep up with all of our travels. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave us a comment below about your favorite part of this video.